a flurry of 150 to 200 Iranian ballistic missiles, which were directed at both military and civilian targets around the nation, recently bombarded Israel's skies. The Israel Defense Forces stated that the majority of the threats were intercepted by their multi-layered air defense network, which is equipped with a sophisticated blend of state-of-the-art equipment. Iron Dome, which is a byword for Israel's defense against rocket assaults from Gaza and Lebanon, was one of the systems that was installed. Despite being built to counter short-range rockets rather than ballistic missiles, Iron Dome was instrumental in eliminating 20 to 30% of Iran's ballistic missiles, a surprising accomplishment that many observers overlook. This surprising achievement highlights a larger misperception of the system's capabilities in Israel's defensive architecture and is based on years of technological advancement. To defend Israeli society from rocket assaults by Hamas and Hezbollah, Iron Dome was first put into service in 2011. With substantial financial assistance from the United States, Rafael Advanced Defense Systems developed the system, which can intercept unguided rockets with a range of 4 to 70 kilometers, including the Grad and Qassam versions commonly fired from Gaza. M208 for radar, manufactured by Israel Aerospace Industries, is one of Iron Dome's primary components. It can identify and track approaching threats like the Tamir interceptor missile, a small, nimble projectile that detonates close to its target and destroys it with a blast fragmentation warhead. Iron Dome's success has, nevertheless, led to misunderstandings thus far. Many believe that Israel's Iron Dome offers a comprehensive defense against all aerial threats. In actuality, ballistic missiles pose a completely different threat and were never meant to be countered by the system. Ballistic missiles, like Iran's Shahab-3 or Zulfiqar, travel at supersonic speeds, frequently surpassing Mach 5, and follow high-arch trajectories that can reach heights beyond the atmosphere, in contrast to comparatively slow, low-flying rockets. They are dangerous well beyond Iron Dome's reach due to their hundreds or perhaps thousands of kilometers of range and their capacity to carry hefty or movable payloads. Israel uses additional systems, such as Arrow 2 and Arrow 3, which were created by Boeing and Israel Aerospace Industries, to combat this. These systems are able to target ballistic missiles in the mid or late phase, frequently outside of the atmosphere. In contrast, medium-range threats are addressed with David Sling, a collaborative initiative with Raytheon. Each of these two systems is suited to a certain threat profile, forming a multi-layered protection network. Rafael and his allies have subtly changed Iron Dome over the last 10 years, adding new capabilities through a number of improvements that demonstrate Israel's foresight in addressing changing regional threats. With software upgrades that enable quicker identification and tracking of fast-moving targets, M208 for radar is already a cutting-edge active electronic scanning array. These modifications have provided Iron Dome limited but considerable capabilities against some ballistic threats, especially those with lower speeds or less complicated trajectories, without transforming it into a dedicated anti-ballistic missile system. Iron Dome's contribution was effective in neutralizing 20 to 30% of ballistic missiles that entered Israeli airspace, particularly those aimed at urban areas like Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Rishon LeZion. Despite its primary function as a rocket interceptor, This demonstrates the Iron Dome system's versatility because it works in tandem with Arrow and David Sling to reduce casualties and damage. The events of last night illustrate how air defense will develop in the future. Demands for systems like Iron Dome will increase as state and non-state-driven missile technologies advance. Israel's experience demonstrates that while layered and integrated approach can greatly minimize risk, no one system can offer perfect safety. The value of interoperability is demonstrated by Iron Dome, Arrow, and David Sling's successful collaboration. This lesson is applicable outside of the Middle East. Israel's strategies provide important lessons for the U.S., which is confronted with increasing missile threats from enemies like China and North Korea.